Okay, class, picking up where we left off at, we were on A, 12A. It says, find the speed of sound in a blast furnace where the temperature is 230 degrees Celsius. Show your work. Okay, so now this is what we need to do. We will substitute in 230 for T. So we have S of 230, and we know it's degrees Celsius, is equal to 1087.7 square root of 9 times 230 plus 2,617 all over 2,457. Now, we can put this in our calculator, which we can do here. So now we would take 1,087.7, and then we would take the square root of, now we would do a parenthesis because this is going to be a division problem. 9 times 230 plus 2,617. Then we could close our parenthesis and then divide it by, and then we could take 2,457. And if you notice, everything is under the radical. Now we press enter. So now our final answer will be S of 230, and it will equal to, it'll be approximately 1,502.29 when we round it, and it'll be feet per second. And that is our final answer for A. Now, we scroll on to the next problem. It says, find the temperature of a blast furnace where sound travels 1,880 feet per second. Show your work. Okay, so this is what we would do. We would take this formula here, but for S of T, we will put in the 1,880, and we will set that equal to the formula, which is 1,087.7 times the square root of, and we know we will have 9T plus 2,617 all over 2,457. Now our objective here is to find out what T is equal to. So this is what we would do first. We would divide each side by 1,087.7. And then this will give us 1,880 over 1,087.7 is equal to the square root of 9T plus 2,617 all over 2,457. Now, we know we have to get rid of this square root. So before we do that, let's just do a little approximation here. We could take our calculator here, and let's clear this out. And we could take 1,880 divided by 1,087.7 and just round this to 2 decimal places. So that would be approximately 1.73. So this would be 1.73 is equal to the square root of 9T plus 2,617 over 2,457. Now we would square both sides to get rid of the square root. So when we square both sides, we would take 1.73 squared and that would give us approximately 2.99 when we round it. And that will be equal to, it'll be 9T plus 2,617 over 2,457. Now we have to get rid of this 2,457, so we'll multiply each side by 2,457. Now when we take our calculator, we would take 2.99 times 2,457, and that will give us, and we will write this over here, that would actually give us 7,346.43. And I need a little bit more space here, so let me write that down here. So it'd be 7,346.43, and that would equal to 9t plus 2,617. Now we would subtract 2,617 on both sides. This would give us, let me see, that would be 9,327. This would be 4,729.43, and then is equal to 9t. So now we could take that value, let me erase this here. We can take that value, the 4,729.43, and we divide each side by 9. We know that's equal to 9t over 9. And then we would take our calculator, and we would take 4,729.43 divided by 9, and that gives us 525, and that gives us this decimal. But what they want us to do is round to the nearest degree here, so we would just do 525 degrees Celsius is approximately T, and that will be our final answer. Okay, so now we come here to 13. It says the average number of viewers per episode of a certain television show are shown in the table below for various years. Let n equals f of t equals 9.051 times the square root of t plus 12.6. Be the average number of viewers in millions per episode of this television show in the year that is t years since 2002. It says find the n-intercept of f. What does it mean in terms of this situation? Okay, we want to find the n-intercept. We know n and f of t are the same thing. So that means that t has to be 0. So we would have n, since it's the n-intercept, n is equal to 9.051 times the square root of 0, because that replaces t, plus 12.6. We know the square root of 0 is 0 times 9.051, and then that will give us 0 here. So n would be 0 plus 12.6, so n is 12.6. So our ordered pair would be 0, 12.6. So now it tells us that this is t years since 2002. So we know when t is 0, that means we're in 2002. So basically in 2002, there were 12.6 million viewers of this television show. I would just put TV show. Okay, and that's what it means in this situation. Well, actually, there were 12.6 million viewers. Well, it was 12.6 million average viewers, because we're doing the average. So you need to put average here. So it'd be 12.6 million average viewers of this television show. Okay, now we have B. It says find f of 12. So what we need to do here is this. We need to substitute into this equation. We will have f of 12, substitute in for t, will be 9.051 times the square root of 12 plus 12.6. Now we could just put this in our calculator. So we have 9.051 and then square root of 12. Have to press this arrow to get from under the square root, and plus 12.6. And that gives us, basically if we round to two decimal places, it'll be approximately 43.95, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 43.95. So because it doesn't tell us to round to how many places to round, so we could do 43.95. But I guess I'm looking here at the answer in the back, and they went to 3 decimal places, so we'll do 43.954. Okay, now it says, what does it mean in terms of this situation? We know that 12 represents the amount of years since 2002. So we would do in 2014, the average amount of viewers for this TV show was 43.954 million. That's what this means in this situation. Now we come here to C. It says find T when f of T is equal to 40. What does your result mean in terms of this situation? So we would take 40 is equal to 9.051 times the square root of T plus 12.6. So we need to get T by itself. So we'll subtract 12.6 on both sides. And this will give us 27.4 is equal to 9.051 times the square root of T. Now we would divide each side by 9.051. And we know on the right side we will have the square root of T. And then we could take this value here and take 27.4 and divide it by 9.051. And we round it to 3 decimal places, that'll be 3.027. And then we have to square both sides. So we would take 3.027 and we would square it, and that would give us 9.163. And that would equal T. Okay, so now our final answer would be there was an average of 40 million viewers of this TV show in 2011. And that is the final answer. So we have the answer for T, and then we also have our statement. So we are done.